Joe Biden and Donald Trump square off in the final debate. Lots to discuss right here on The Dispatch. I'm Adam Epstein, and this is The Dispatch. You've heard the term, the cruelty is the point, right? Well, last night there was in the debate, as there are in most debates, a take your breath away moment. They were talking about immigration, the family separation policy. Donald Trump, of course, told everybody, hey, they're in lovely accommodations. People are being treated great. We take great care of them. But, okay, but when Joe Biden said 545 parents don't know where their children are, right? I don't know if you remember that. Donald Trump said, good. That's right, he said good. It was a moment of real clarity for who Donald Trump is. But folks, last night Donald Trump did not bring Donald Trump. He was the smooth, controlled, perfectly slick and mendacious Donald Trump. Full of lies, told effortlessly and with ease. They lied about COVID. He lied about China, he lied about Russia, he lied about the Ukraine, he lied about taxes, he lied about everything. Joe Biden was steady, to be sure. Joe's always steady. But Trump was not the rip-roaring bulldozer he was in that first debate. Kristen Welker, the moderator from NBC, was fantastic. She maintained great control of a situation that pretty much almost always goes out of hand. But like Mike Pence against Kamala Harris, though I say this not believing the debate is going to move the needle, but there was a smoothness to them. A way in which they could convince you of their command, trying to make you forget, it's 11 days before an election, that 225,000 people are dead from a global pandemic that they did not cause, but the response was derelict. The failure to respond, to deal with this country's biggest challenge, probably in our lifetime, if ever, is such a moral failure. It's the reason Trump is in free fall in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Speaking of the electoral map, think about it, right? As polls show Biden's lead holding steady, don't listen to that. Make plans to vote often, vote early. You absolutely can check the veracity of your ballot box. You can check whether or not your mail ballot gets in. And you can also still go to the polls in a mask. We learned in the Wisconsin Democratic primary last spring that Democratic voters who lined up practiced social distancing, wore masks, and there was very little outbreak from COVID. Whatever it takes, this is your right to the franchise. And what happens in 11 days from now, folks, determines the course of America. We're told all the time that this is the most important election of your lifetime. Vote like your life depends upon it. I can't stress it enough. Your life does depend upon it. We're going to make a choice in 2020, in 11 days, America or Trump. Now realize this, Trump wins the popular vote, Trump won the electoral vote so narrowly because of 3 states, 77,000 votes, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin last time. Well, Joe's from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and polls in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin overwhelmingly show a Joe Biden lead. But take nothing for granted. All right. All we know is there is not a strong third-party candidacy, that undecided voters have largely broken for Joe Biden, and that independents and former Republicans who were willing to give Donald Trump a chance have deserted Trump in droves. Right? Joe also has been holding, up until recently, a lead with 65 and over seniors, and the big one, college-educated suburban women. Not to suggest he's lost that lead. But we are now in the 11 days, and Trump presented a smooth operator version of himself. Preferably, I wouldn't have had that last debate. We had him, right? We didn't need him to come on. Yes, chock-a-block full of lies, but still presentational. Trump has been a bullshit artist his entire life. This is what he does. This is how he weaves people into his web, how he seduces people to believe in him. What we have lived through, folks, in America is nothing short of destructive, painful, harrowing, distressing, and altogether immoral. But the art of the Don is the art of the con. And you can never underestimate the art of the con in America. We have a very big history of being conned. And you know what? Not unlike Elmer Gantry, who conned those folks all those years ago, We have Donald Trump, now 45th President of the United States. You have a choice, a major choice, a choice unlike most of us have ever had, to choose America or to choose autocracy. And I mean that. I don't mean tanks will roll in the street, but it would be the end of free and fair elections. It'd be the end of a fair judiciary. It would be a right-leaning Supreme Court, a right-wing leaning court all through the land. It would be the kind of retrograde politics that the last 50 to 70 years of progress has sought to erase. It's America or Trump. Joe Biden is imperfect. Joe Biden is admittedly a flawed man, but isn't the fallibility of humankind everything? Isn't that the one thing that we see from this president that we never hear? Even last night, he takes responsibility, he said, finally, for COVID, but it was China's fault. He's remorseless. He's soulless. He's malignantly narcissistic. And I don't say this just because of his politics. I say it because you have a choice to choose a decent public servant of 47 years who operated as a fantastic senator from Delaware, was Barack Obama's vice president, who with Kamala Harris has a forward-thinking vision. It's very simple. Or Donald Trump. Imagine a Trump term 2.0. Unhinged, unchecked, vengeful, wrathful, and ready to go. What you saw last night was what he's great at. Just as things get bad and tight at the end, old Teflon Don comes in and looks smooth. I know many people who watch this may not have seen that or think Joe Biden had a runaway smash. He did, but there were optics that made me uncomfortable. Donald Trump trying to be more of a leader, right? Because remember, the lies aside, he can morph chameleonically into anything. It's the way he's made evangelical voters believe he's a Christian when he doesn't go to church. He's held their hand and bowed his head and prayed with them. Michael Cohen, in his book Disloyal, reports that as soon as those religious figures left the office, Trump turned to Michael Cohen and said, "Can you believe they believe this fucking shit?" You can read it for yourself. It's in the book. But in 11 days, you were going to make a choice about decency, morality, and empathy. I can't tell you how to vote, but I can tell you, if Donald Trump is reelected, the America you have known is over. The experiment that we have undertook, the most successful in 244 years in the realm of self-government, will come to a screeching halt. Yes, there'll still be Congress. Yes, there'll still be the courts. But it will be an America unrecognizable from your grandparents, your parents, and yourself. Folks, there is nothing to do but vote. And remember, it is America or Trump. You can't have both. I'm Adam Epstein, and this is The